What if I told you that just 5 minutes of the right movements could do more for your health than a 30-minute walk? 5 minutes beats a 30-minute walk, and that is not an exaggeration. This idea surprised even me when I dug into the latest research in geriatric medicine. A large analysis published in the Lancet Public Health showed that older adults who added short strength and balance exercises into their routine had lower hospitalization rates and stayed independent for years longer than those who relied only on walking. That is a dramatic difference, and it gets even more interesting. 91% of the people in those programs could perform the exercises immediately, no matter their current fitness level, stiffness, or physical limitations. No gym, no equipment, just your body and 5 focused minutes. That is why this routine works so well for adults in our stage of life. It taps into the systems that matter most as we age, the muscles that protect your joints, the balance reactions that prevent falls, and the strength patterns you use every single day. And the best part is that your body adapts faster than you think when you give it the right signals. Before we dive in, drop a comment telling me your name and where you are watching from. I read every single one, and I want to know where you are starting from. Let's get into the 5 exercises that make up this 5-minute routine. When we talk about this 5-minute routine for people over 60, the real power is not in any single exercise, it is in how all 5 of them work together. That is what researchers call a synergistic effect, meaning the total benefit is greater than what each movement could deliver on its own. Wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, modified squats to a chair, standing heel raises, and bird dog holds each target a different system your body relies on every day. Strength, balance, coordination, and core control all fire in their own way. And when you train them together, your brain begins to link those patterns, just like it does when you walk, stand up, or catch yourself from a stumble. This is why strength and balance work consistently outperform walking alone. Walking is great for general activity, but it does not challenge the muscles and reflexes that actually protect independence as we age. These 5 targeted moves do that in a very direct way, teaching your body how to respond, stabilize, and stay in control. And that is where the real change begins. Exercise 5. Wall push-ups with hold matters more than most people realize after 65 because this is the age when we naturally lose about 3% of our muscle mass each year unless we actively fight it. What surprises many of my patients is that it is not just the size of the muscle that changes, it is the communication line between the brain and the muscle. That connection is what allows you to push, catch yourself, react to sudden shifts, and stay upright when life throws you a small stumble. When that line weakens, your risk of falling rises even if you feel strong in everyday tasks. This is why a simple movement like a wall push-up becomes such a powerful tool. It trains both the muscle and the neuromuscular system, the brain-to-body loop that keeps you steady. Studies on adults over 65 show that basic pushing exercises can improve upper body strength by more than 30% and also improve reaction time, which is one of the biggest predictors of fall prevention. That is why this movement is on our list. It delivers real results without stressing sensitive joints, and it engages far more of your body than you expect. Here is how to do it correctly. Stand at arm's length from a wall, with your feet together or slightly apart. Place your palms flat on the wall, at shoulder height and shoulder width. Keep your spine long and your ribs down so your core stays lightly engaged. Now slowly lean your body toward the wall, letting your elbows bend naturally. I want you to take 2 full seconds to get your nose close to the wall. Do not rush this part, because the slow tempo is where your nervous system wakes up and begins to communicate more clearly with your muscles. When you reach the bottom of the movement, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. This hold is the magic of the exercise. You will feel your chest, shoulders, arms, and even your core switch on to steady your body. Coaching cue. This moment of stillness is actively sending a message to your brain that says, I am stable, I am safe. Do not skip this hold. It is the most important part of the exercise. That moment of stillness teaches your brain exactly where you are in space, which is called proprioception, and it is one of the skills that declines fastest as we age. After the hold, push back to the starting position over 2 steady seconds. Keep your elbows in a comfortable path and do not lock your joints at the top. That is 1 repetition. For the first week, start with 3 slow, controlled reps. If you feel wobbly, move your feet closer to the wall to make it easier. If you feel strong, step your feet a little farther back to increase the challenge. Small adjustments make a big difference because they increase the load while keeping the movement safe and joint-friendly. After 1 week, your goal is to work up to 6 to 8 repetitions. With each rep, keep your pace identical. Slow down, hold, push back. This teaches your brain consistency, and consistency is what rewires movement patterns. By the second week, you should feel more stability through your shoulders and a clearer sense of control in your upper body. If it feels too easy at that point, step your feet even farther back or hold the bottom position for an extra second or two. And if you are still with me right now, type the number 5 in the comments so I know you are following along and feeling the difference. This simple movement builds strength, sharpens your reflexes, and gives you a steadier foundation for everything else in this routine. Exercise 4. Seated leg lifts with resistance is one of the most important movements for people over 60 because it directly improves something. Doctors now call the 6th vital sign your walking speed. Walking speed predicts longevity more reliably than many lab tests because it reflects the health of your hips, your legs, your balance system, and even your cardiovascular fitness all at once. When your hip flexors and quadriceps get weaker, your stride shortens, your steps get slower, and everyday activities start feeling harder than they should. This exercise targets those exact muscles and teaches them to fire together in a smooth, coordinated way. Here is how to do it safely and with proper form. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor. Press your lower back gently into the chair to keep your core engaged. This prevents you from leaning back and straining your spine, which is one of the most common mistakes people make. Now extend one leg straight out in front of you and lift it slowly until it is level with the floor. Keep your knee as straight as comfortable and hold the top for 2 steady seconds. Lower the leg slowly without letting your foot touch the ground. That slow lowering phase builds just as much strength as the lift and teaches your hip to stay stable. This is a unilateral exercise, meaning we work one leg at a time. That is important because most adults over 60 have one leg that is slightly weaker even if they do not notice it. Training each side independently fixes those imbalances and helps both legs contribute evenly when you walk, climb stairs, or stand up from a chair. Think of it like tuning 2 separate engines on a car. You need both running smoothly if you want a steady, dependable ride. Think of it as giving each leg its own private training session. For repetitions, start with 8 to 12 on each leg during your first week. Take a 15-second rest between sides. Once this becomes easier, add a light ankle weight. Even 1 pound is enough to change the challenge. If you do not have a weight, simply increase the hold at the top to 3 seconds or lift your leg 1 extra inch before lowering. In week 2, aim to keep the same rep range but increase your control. No swinging, no leaning back, no rushing. Smooth, steady, and slow. And if you are still with me right now, type the number 4 in the comments so I know you are staying engaged and ready for the next step. This simple exercise improves your stride, strengthens your hips, and gives you the power and confidence you need to move through your day with ease. Exercise 3. Modified squats to chair is one of the most important movements for people over 60 because the ability to sit down and stand up is often the first daily skill that begins to decline with age. It is not just about strength, it is about how well your brain and your muscles communicate. The motor cortex, the part of the brain that controls movement, becomes less active when we stop practicing these patterns. That is why so many adults begin to rely on their hands or momentum instead of true leg strength. This exercise wakes that system back up and teaches your body how to move safely and powerfully again. The first thing to understand is foot positioning. When your feet are about hip-width apart and your toes point slightly outward, you put your hips and knees into their most natural alignment. This simple adjustment reduces knee pressure instantly and sets you up for a safer squat. Now let me walk you through the mechanics. The most important part is the hip hinge. That means your hips move back first, not your knees forward. Imagine trying to close a car door with your backside. When you hinge correctly, your glutes and hamstrings carry the load, which protects your knees and keeps your spine in a strong neutral position. Stand in front of a sturdy chair, arms either crossed over your chest or reaching slightly forward for balance. Take a slow, 3-second descent. Feel your hips slide back as if you are aiming your tailbone toward the edge of the chair. Keep your chest gently lifted and your weight spread through your whole foot, not just your toes. As soon as your glutes lightly touch the chair, stop. Do not sit. do not relax. That light touch keeps tension in your muscles, and that time under tension is where real strength is built, especially after 60. Then take 2 steady seconds to stand back up by pressing through your heels and squeezing your glutes. That is 1 repetition. The chair is simply a guide. It gives you confidence while also preventing you from dropping too low or collapsing at the bottom. For the first week, aim for 5 controlled repetitions. Focus on clean form rather than speed. If your knees feel uncomfortable, adjust your stance slightly wider or turn your toes out a touch more. Small changes make a big difference. In week 2, increase to 8 repetitions and slow down your lowering phase. The slower you go, the more your brain learns. In week 3, work up to 10 or 12 reps if it feels comfortable. Many people notice that standing from a couch, climbing stairs, and getting out of a car all start to feel easier by this point. If you are still with me right now, type the number 3 in the comments so I know you are following along and feeling your strength build. And let me know if standing up is already starting to feel a little less stressful for your knees and hips. This simple movement retrains your hips, protects your knees, and teaches your brain the safe and powerful pattern you need for independence at every age. Exercise 2. Standing heel raises with balance is one of the most powerful indicators of how well someone over 65 will maintain independence in the years ahead. Your calves play a much bigger role than most people realize. Your calves are basically the body's second pump for circulation. Strong calves mean better blood flow and less swelling. They are not just muscles that help you walk. They act like a peripheral heart, pumping blood from your lower legs back up toward your core against gravity. When your calves weaken, circulation slows, swelling increases, and even your energy levels can drop. But the most important part is stability. Strong calves help you recover from a stumble, because the very first thing your body does when you trip is push hard through the balls of your feet to regain balance. If the calves cannot generate that force, the body simply cannot catch itself quickly enough. That is why calf strength predicts independence more accurately than many standard tests. Here is how to perform this exercise correctly. Stand behind a sturdy chair and place your fingertips lightly on the back for gentle support. Keep your posture tall and look straight ahead. Rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can. Do not rush. Feel the muscles in your calves shorten as your heels lift. At the very top, pause for 3 steady seconds. This pause is where the vestibular system in your inner ear begins to engage, helping you coordinate balance with vision and body awareness. This directly trains your ability to catch yourself when you misstep. Now lower yourself down slowly over 3 full seconds. Most of the strength building happens during this lowering phase because your calves must control your entire body weight against gravity. That slow descent also teaches your nervous system how to respond when you shift or wobble. Start with 8 repetitions. Rest for a moment and repeat if you feel steady. As your balance improves, aim for 12 to 15 repetitions. When that becomes comfortable, try placing only 1 fingertip on the chair or even hover your hand just above it while still staying safe. The next level is single leg work. Shift your weight onto 1 foot and rise onto that single toe, lifting just a few inches. Hold the top for 1 or 2 seconds and lower slowly. Even if you only get a tiny lift, that is progress. This strengthens the tendons and muscles that protect you during quick directional changes. And if you are still with me, type the number 2 in the comments so I know you are building confidence with each rep. This exercise improves circulation, trains your balance system, strengthens your foundation, and gives you the ability to react quickly when life demands it. Exercise 1. Bird dog hold progressions is the most complete exercise for people over 60 because it strengthens every system that supports safe movement and independence. It trains your core, your spine, your balance, your coordination, and even your cognitive function all at the same time. No other movement in this routine delivers such a wide range of benefits in one simple position. The reason it works so well is the diagonal pattern. When you reach one arm forward and extend the opposite leg back, you are recreating the same cross-body rhythm your brain uses when you walk. That pattern becomes less precise as we age, which is why steps can start to feel unsteady or why balance feels more unpredictable. This exercise restores that connection and teaches your brain and body to communicate clearly again. You are not just training muscles, you are actively teaching your brain and your bones how to stay healthier as you age. Let me walk you through the form. Start on your hands and knees with your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Keep your spine in a neutral position, not sagging and not arched. Your neck should stay long as if you are gently reaching the top of your head forward. Now slowly lift your right arm straight ahead while extending your left leg behind you. Move just high enough to make one long line from your fingertips to your toes. The challenge is not the height. The challenge is staying level. Your hips should not twist or drop, and your belly should stay gently pulled in. This teaches anti-rotation control, the kind of stability your spine depends on when you step off a curb, reach for something, or turn quickly. Hold the position for 5 seconds during the first week, then lower with control and switch sides. That is 1 repetition. Perform 4 on each side. In week 2, increase the hold to 8 seconds. This extra time forces your deep stabilizing muscles to stay active longer, which builds endurance and control. In week 3, add a small pulse at the top, lifting just an inch and returning to your long line while holding steady. That subtle pulse challenges your balance system and your coordination in a safe, controlled way. Here is the part that surprises most people. Research shows that this kind of cross-body stability work can actually increase brain volume in regions responsible for movement and spatial awareness. It also helps maintain bone density by stimulating the spine and hips through controlled load. That means you are not just getting stronger. You are literally teaching your brain and your bones to stay healthier as you age. And if you are still with me right now, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you are following along and feeling more confident with each step. This exercise brings together strength, balance, control, and brain health in a way that supports every part of your daily life. You just completed a full 5-minute routine built for people over 60, so let me quickly bring everything together. You started with wall push-ups with hold for 8 slow controlled reps to wake up your upper body strength and sharpen your reaction time. Then you moved into seated leg lifts with resistance for 10 reps per leg to improve walking speed and hip stability. After that came modified squats to chair for 5 to 12 reps depending on your week, rebuilding the sit-to-stand pattern your brain relies on every day. Then you trained your lower leg power and balance with standing heel raises for 8 to 15 reps, teaching your body how to recover from a stumble. And finally, you finish with bird dog hold progressions for 4 reps per side, restoring core stability, coordination, and the diagonal pattern that supports every step you take. That is the entire 5-minute routine, and here is the part I want you to remember. The results do not come from being perfect. They come from showing up. Consistency matters far more than intensity, especially for adults in our stage of life. Even a few minutes a day creates real change because your muscles and your nervous system are always capable of learning. The research is clear on this. Studies with adults well into their 90s show measurable improvements in strength, balance, and mobility when they practice simple functional exercises just like these. That means it is never too late to start and never too late to get better. Start where you are, do what you can, and let your body adapt one small step at a time. As we wrap up today, I want you to take a moment and really notice how you feel. Your body can still adapt quickly, no matter your age, and what you just did is proof of that. With just 5 focused minutes, you strengthen muscles that support every step you take, improved the balance systems that keep you steady, and activated the deep core patterns that protect your spine. These changes may feel small right now, but they build on each other faster than you think. I have seen men and women in their 70s and 80s, even their 90s, make remarkable progress with simple, consistent work just like this. Strength and independence are not about youth. They come from patterns you can practice at any age. Every time you move with intention, you send your brain a message that you are safe, capable, and still learning. That is where confidence grows. My hope is that you carry that feeling into the rest of your day. And because this channel is built for you and shaped by what you share, I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what your biggest obstacle has been when it comes to staying consistent with exercise. When you name it, we can work on it together. If this routine helped you, tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a little confidence boost today. Your progress matters, and I am here to guide you every step of the way.